Hello guys, so in my first video I was talking about the origins of prophets in Israel, how prophets originated in the land of Israel, and the main features like dreams, ecstasies, divination. And in my second video, or my second part of the video, I was talking about the two major theories of prophets in Israel, and in that second video I was talking about the prophecy is a borrowed phenomenon in Israel. I was saying that prophecy, some scholars say that prophecy was a borrowed phenomenon. It was not unique in Israel. It was borrowed somewhere else in the nations near ancient Near East. So now we want to look at the second theory, which says Israel's prophecy was unique. This theory is simply called prophecy as a unique feature in Israel. So let's look in what the theory says. So it is debatable whether prophecy was unique or not, because Israel's prophecy has so many prophetic features which are similar to the prophecies found in ancient Near East. However, it is crucial to note that prophecy in Israel was based on mainly three features, which are monotheism, Yahwehism, and Decalogue. These are the main three features which made Israel's prophecy unique and outstanding. Yahwehism, monotheism, and Decalogue. So what with the monotheism is simply belief in one God, and then Yahwehism is belief in Yahweh. Yahweh is God, the God of Christianity. Then we have the Decalogue. The Decalogue is a set of rules that have the weight of authority, like the 10 Commandments given to Moses. So that was the main three features, or the three main features which made Israel's prophecy unique compared to those of the nations located in the ancient Near East. So, putting these facts into consideration, it is therefore safe to say that prophecy in Israel was different from those nations in the ancient Near East. Therefore, Israel had his own religion or unique features of prophecy. Although Israel's prophecy shared many things in common with ancient Near East, Israel's prophecy was to eventually suit its own environment that was unique. Much emphasis should be put on the issue of Decalogue, Yahwehism, and monotheism. It is critical to note that while in the ancient Near East kings were above prophets, in Israel prophets were above kings. So you must note that feature that in the ancient Near East kings were above prophets, but in Israel prophets were above kings. That's another feature of prophecy in Israel, is a unique feature. So from the analysis of these scholars, broad theories that traced prophecy in Israel. So guys, we have what we call the evolution theory, and we are now looking at this theory, what it says, the evolution theory. So the theory is mainly based on 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9. 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9. The implication of this evolutionary theory is that the office of prophet evolved from that of a seer. So the main idea of this evolutionary theory says that the office of the prophet evolved from that of a seer. So want to see what is a seer. A seer is someone who foretells the future. To some scholars, seers were more or less of cultic, or more of cultic priests, and so the office of a seer can be seen within the cultic institution of Israel. So the office of a prophet evolved from that of a seer. A seer is one who foretells the future, and it is said that there were more or less of cultic priests. And what are cultic priests? The word cultic is simply an adjective of the word cult. So what is cult? What does cult means? Cult is a noun which means a group of people with a religious identity. So it was a group of seers with one religious identity. So let's look at the verse, 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9, what it says. I use King James Version, but the verse says the same. If we have the New International Version, if we have the Revised Standard Version, it doesn't matter which version you use, it all says the same. Mine is King James Version. So it says, 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9, it says, before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spoke, come and let us go to the seer, for he that is now a prophet was before time called a seer. So the verse clearly shows that the office of the prophet was used to be called the office of a seer. So it is said that the office of a seer could no longer satisfy the needs of common people. It was somehow exploitative towards its members. So the office of a seer is said to be exploitative to its members. That means it was somehow oppressive. So it had become so political that the common people could no longer fit into the institution. It is also possible that the cultic priests would become corrupt, as exemplified by the corrupt tendencies of the priesthood. In 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 12, we saw the corruption of Eli's sons. As a result, prophets arose in revolutionaries within the cult of Israel and voiced the needs of the people and spoke against the cultic priests. So the prophets evolved from the office of the seer, and they were revolutionaries who voiced their voice in favor of the needs of the people. So we are saying they were one people. They used to be seers, they used to be in a group of seers, but seeing the danger that the priests were now oppressive, were now exploitative to people, they then moved out of that seer group and became revolutionaries who voiced the needs of the people. So there's no much difference between a seer and prophets, but prophets are just you can say revolutionaries. So another reason could be that cultic priests would be part and parcel of leadership, so they could have been receiving payments from treasure. So the seer is believed to be, they were believed to be taking payments of people, which was given by people and which was supposed to be going to the treasure, but the seer was receiving the payments. So that's the other reason why prophets arose. The king was in control of the state treasury, so the priests were not free to accuse them, even if the king was corrupt. So the priests always supported the status quo. Therefore, prophets originated as an independent institution. So it is said that the king controlled the treasury, and the prophets or the priests were not free to accuse the king because he controlled the treasury. So the priests would support the status quo, which was at that time, and the no voice to accuse the king. So prophets arose because of that matter. It was meant to put checks and balances to the king when he abused his people. So the prophets arose to put checks and balances to the king when he abused his people. So this theory regards prophets as evolutionary or gradually in stages. They came from a primitive stage to the sophisticated stage. So prophecy started with a great ancestor, Abraham, and it becomes advanced in terms of Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, Jeremiah, up to the time of Samuel. Prophecy was primitive. That's where it originated, up to the time of Samuel. Therefore, prophecy in this case originated with Samuel. There is a distinguishing feature between a seer and a prophet. And in the case of Samuel, we see both qualities of a seer and a prophet. A seer also means one who have a gift of second sight to foretell the future. So this was today's lesson, guys. We're looking at the unique features of prophets in Israel. So we said that the main three features of prophets in Israel were basically Yahwehism, Decalogue, and monotheism. And another feature was that prophets were above kings, while in the ancient Near East nations, kings were above prophets. And we saw that prophets evolved from the office of a seer, and they were sort of revolutionaries who voiced their voices in favor of the people. So in our next lesson, guys, we'll be looking at the 5 stages of prophetic calling, those stages, which one would be called a prophet, or how the prophets were called by God. So guys, remember to subscribe, remember to like if you have liked this video, and remember to click the notification bell. Thank you.